Good morning, friends. I'm Dr. Yogesh Sarode of Jivan Vikas Mahavidyalaya Devgram. I welcome you all in this session. Today, we will learn about the poem in the Bazaars of Hyderabad composed by Sarojini Naidu. In the last session, we had seen introduction of the poetess, about the poems, and paraphrasing of the poem. Now, we will see the interpretation part of the poem in the Bazaars of Hyderabad and some important issues related with the poem. See, friends, this poem is based on the local market of Hyderabad. So it's a purely Indian. Here, the poetess is describing the bazaars of Hyderabad. There are merchants, vendors, goldsmiths, fruitmen, and also flower girls in the market. It's a typical pre independence Indian market. In those days, goods manufactured in the foreign countries were asked to boycott because that time there was administration of Britishers. The Swadeshi movement was just introduced by Mahatma Gandhi. So the British government banned the publication of Indian newspapers. Swadeshi movement could not be popularized within the people. So Sarojini Naidu cleverly used her poetic skill to put forth the idea of Indian goods and Indian markets. See the intention behind the poem. Because Britishers banned publishing newspapers, so there was no scope for the advertisement. So how to advertise these Indian products? How to promote our Swadeshi movement? Sarojini thought that writing poem on our Indian market will let the Indian people know about their products and they will purchase product. They will ban Britishers' products. So she read the poem. In the bazaars of Hyderabad, there are several merchants. The poetess asked the merchant what he was selling. He has displayed the prepared goods, which included turbans of purplish red and silver color. There are also long shirts or jackets in purple gold or purple silver. Mirrors are with panels of dark orange, yellow substances. Also, knives with green gem fitted handles were seen. Then the market is also rich with the vendors. They sell rice with saffron lentil by weighing it. Some guilds are also present, grinding some stuff that contains sandalwood, henna, and spice. Peddlers were calling for the sale of chessmen and ivory dice. Again, in the market, we find there are the goldsmiths who make ringlet, anklet, and rings. The bells for the peons' feet are frail like dragon, flies wing. Girdles of gold for dancers and scabbards of gold for the king were also being made by the goldsmith. The fruitmen were shouting to sell fruits like citron, pomegranate, and plum, and musicians played sitar, sarangi, and drum. Musicians were also present in the market, perhaps chanting for the long, long time to come. Flower girls were weaving with tassels to crown for the brow of a bridegroom and flower arrangements to decorate his bed. The flower girls were also busy making arrangements of those who were dead. So, this was what is the central idea of the poem. Again, we find there are some important issues related to this poem. So, as far as sensual experience or imagination or pictorial beauty of the poem is concerned, we see in this poem, in the bazaars of Hyderabad, it brings out a lively picture of bazaar. You see, from start to end, and look at the articles displayed in the shops of that bazaar. You get a clear picture of Indian market. So it's a place with variety of things and articles displayed for sale. The poem very successfully invokes the rich colors, smells, sound, and taste of a rich and varied cultural milieu. Various things which differs in color and shapes also appeal to different senses. Turbans of crimson and silver satisfy the senses of eyes. Richly decorated mirrors, daggers, ivory dice, gold wristlets, then anklet, colorful flowers create unique impact on the minds of the readers. Then saffron, lentil, spices, various fruits, all these appeal to the sense of taste. So, with the presentation of the delicate bells for the feet of pigeon, girdles of gold for the dancers, the poetess makes the reader to listen melodious sounds. Display of musical instruments also create imaginative music. Thus, we can see that reading the poem in the bazaars of Hyderabad is one of the interesting sensual experience. Then, if you see the juxtaposition of flower girls making garlands, we find here also Sarojini Naidu presents the juxtaposition of the flower girls when they prepare garlands for the bridegroom and also make sheets of flower to perfume the sleep of the dead. The poetess celebrates the work of the flower girls. They view tassels of blue and red flowers for various occasions. The flower girls make crowns for the bridegroom. They also prepare colorful garlands to decorate the beds on the occasion of marriage. And with the same concentration, they make the sheets of white flowers for the dead person so that last journey of man would be performed. Thus, flower girls give happiness to the living people and dead people with their skill and hard work. See, in the presentation, in the PPT also you will find the market is full of all types of goods, varied colors, scents, smell, colors, everything gives a pictorial beauty. If you look at the scene of the bazaar, you get the clear picture here in the poem that begins with the poetess question to the merchants about what they are selling. She says that the goods are displayed nicely to attract the buyers. She visits the vendors. One thing you will find in Indian market and not in the Indian market, in any market, that those goods which you want to sell, they are well decorated and systematically arranged. Intention is the buyer should easily attract. She asks the vendors what they are weighing for sale. They reply that they are weighing saffron, lentil, and rice. The maidens grind sandalwood, henna, and spices. The peddlers reply that they are selling the chessmen and dice made from ivory for the game of chess. When the poetess goes to the goldsmith, he says that he has made beautiful ornament like wristlet, anklet, and a ring, and has made bells for the feet of pigeons, girdles for dancers, and scabbards for the kings. She visits then the fruitman and musician. The musicians create wonderful tunes for ages, excuse me, ages to come. So in the bazaar, the poetess sees a flower girl who makes crowns for the bridegroom and makes garland to decorate their beds for the wedding night. You will find things since your birth till your death. Everything is available in the market, in Indian market. So why to rely on others? Now, if you look at the stanza of the poem, we find they are divided into five. Again, look at the rhythm or rhyme scheme and a repetition of words that produces some rhythm. See what is the impact on the reader of all these. We find in the poem in the Bazaars of Hyderabad, the poetess has presented the lively picture of the marketplace in a very simple and effective way. Through a series of questions, she addresses to the readers and vendors in the vibrant bazaars of Hyderabad. The conventional method of the poem creates the realistic impact on the minds of the readers. The poem is divided into five stanzas of 6 lines each. Peculiar rhyme scheme is woven throughout the poem to create musical impact. And the rhyme scheme is ABCBDP, that is maintained in almost all stanzas. Some of the words are skillfully repeated to have a desired effect. O merchant, O vendor, like this. This is address. For example, what do you cry? O a fruitman. What do you view? O a flower girls. Like this. So with a peculiar manner of the poem, Sarojini Naidu has excellently brought out the vibrant picture of the bazaar of Hyderabad. So friends, I have discussed all important issues related with this poem, rhyme, rhythm, stanza, technical aspects also. I have focused on the crux of the poem also, central idea of the poem also. So I hope definitely because it is clear, everything is made clear to you, so it will be easy for you to digest. So hope you will do better in this poem. If you have query regarding this, you can always mail me. So thank you friends. Good day.